main benefits of sports massage is to reduce pain, to help improve their movement, to take tension out of the body, for de-stressing, so if you're feeling quite stressed or anxious, can really help release pressure out of the body. It can be a little uncomfortable, painful at times, but it's not really about the experience, it's more about what we're working towards the end result. So by working through quite often deep tissue techniques that release that tension, create pressure in the area and take the muscles into a longer position, it allows a more balanced, more centered position in the posture. What we see is when people stand up off of a treatment bed, although they might have a little bit of discomfort from the pressure that's been used, they're moving much more freely, they have a reduced level of what we call more of an acute pain. If you've been coming into classes, if you're doing any form of exercise, we all feel a little restriction in certain exercises, and you may feel like you don't quite achieve what the teacher's asking you to achieve, or you just don't feel that you get the exercise, you don't feel that movement. Something in your body is feeling a little stuck. So by going to have some sports massage, what we can do is release some of that, the particular areas. So we go through an assessment, have a look at how you are moving, see which parts of the body are a little bit stuck or a little bit tight, and we can take that tension from the body, and when you go back into your class or into a one-to-one session, you then see an improvement in your movement almost instantly. Your body doesn't have that restriction through the range. You may have quite often felt, you do a class, you have a really hard workout in the class, and for that day or two afterwards you get something called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. And that sensation of feeling that you've worked, if you struggle with that, for some of us, unfortunately for me, I struggle with that a lot, it might be 5 or 6 days, having a massage in there can really iron out some of the lactic acid build up, some of the little micro tears that happen in that muscle soreness. Helps you realign the muscles back into their correct position and helps to improve what you're looking for. If it's tone, if it's flexibility, you can get a faster, quicker result from it. You book the appointment with the therapist, you arrive in good time, go into the treatment room, and what the therapist will do is they'll go through a health questionnaire, so they need to find out a little bit about you. So it's called the subjective assessment, where you'll be questioned, asked about your history of injuries, and really get stuck into the question, why are you here, what do you want to achieve from that session. Once you've done that, there'll be some form of what we call an objective assessment, which is either assessing movements, assessing postural positions, and getting stuck into understanding what it is in the body that's being restricted. That can take anything from 5 to 10 minutes up to 20 minutes, depending on how much detail is required and your own personal health and injuries that you need to discuss with a therapist. Within that first session, you will have some treatment. And obviously, depending on what gets found out in those two assessments, both the verbal assessment and the physical assessment, the therapist will then take you through a series of techniques that we use to help release whichever part of the body is required. So you're very engaged and interactive with the therapist as to what you want to achieve. The session is ultimately for you, but the therapist will look at the body and make a decision based on what your body tells them it needs to help you alleviate the pain, improve the postural issue that you've come asking to get some help with. The ideal scenario would be to have more than one session. Now, you can achieve a lot in one session, and you can find out what are the issues, and you'll be given a good idea what the restrictions you have in your body, and you'll have some treatment. And you can feel, in some cases, you can feel absolutely incredible, and all your issues have been resolved in one session. I have to be honest, that doesn't happen very often. Everyone, including the therapist, gets really excited in that situation. But what we do see is a great improvement, and to sustain that improvement, you quite often need a number of sessions. And going forwards, that may be doing 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions in quite quick succession to get a significant and more permanent change. And then that might fall into having a monthly or 6-weekly or quarterly session just to keep on top of things, to keep you ticking over. There are plenty of people who will have this every week, and it may be that because they've come to work on posture, and the causes may be their working position, their desk position, working many hours in the wrong position, and alongside the Pilates is all helping to improve what's going on in the class and the posture. It may be stress or anxieties, and if that's the reason why you're going, then a regular massage is really going to help you with that. So to book your one-to-one sports massage, the easiest and best way is to speak to the teacher who's teaching your class. So whichever site you're on and whichever studio you're doing your classes in, speak to the teacher and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. Which teachers are therapists? Maybe your teacher is a therapist already, which is fantastic if they are. But if not, your current teacher will point you in the right direction and give you some options, and at that point you can then go forwards and find out more from them how to book.